welcome back to my channel. I know you've probably been wondering, where has she been? You know, life. That's the only answer that I have is life. So today's video, as you saw by the title, of course, is going to be my April favorites. I cannot believe we're in May. And April was my birth month, but I feel like it went by so fast. So I was going to do like a birthday get ready with me and all these other videos, and then I was just like, I'm not gonna put up a birthday get ready with me 2 weeks after the fact. So I'm gonna just keep on going with regular scheduled programming. So of course, as you may have guessed, I have been slacking on my favorites videos, but I'm going to make it up to you today because I have quite a few favorites from the combined months of not talking about them. So I want to talk about them today. So if you guys want to see what I've been loving recently, then please stay tuned. So starting off with an oldie but a goodie, and I'm thinking about doing like a new makeup series, titling that like oldies but goodies, and either like hauling items and then like doing like a makeup tutorial with it, and just having like an entire series called oldies but goodies. Okay, but that's just what I've been thinking. Anyways, I have been loving the Smashbox Studio Skin again, especially since it's been warmer and it's been about 70, 80 degrees, 90 degrees on rare days. This works in pretty much all temperatures. However, I noticed that I wasn't really in love with it in the winter. I wanted more of a glow in the winter. So I was really reaching for that Pro Glow by L'Oreal in the winter, and now I'm reaching for a hydrating foundation in the summer. And I'm just like, what is going on with me? It's crazy because usually I am a full face matte girl, but this really does help. It says that it's a 24 or 15 hour wear hydrating foundation, and it does not lie because it does stay on the skin. And with me being someone who is extremely oily, it doesn't like melt off the skin. I had a combination on my face the other day, don't even know what products I used, but it completely melted off and I looked horrible by about 10 a.m. and I had just applied it. So I don't want to do that, especially in the summertime, because that's just recipe for disaster. But this helps, and lately I've been having quite a few issues with breakouts. I don't know what it is. I've tried, you know, cutting back on certain things. I've tried making sure my pillowcases are clean, and I've tried different masks, different skincare, all this stuff, and I'm just not exactly sure what it is. But I've been having some texture in my cheek area, like in the lower part of my cheek area, that I've been battling with for like the past month or two, and this really just helps conceal and fill all that in. It doesn't accentuate it or anything like that. This really just helps conceal it. So I am in love with this foundation still. I definitely recommend you go out and get it. And I went out and picked up a refill of this because this is the empty version, but I picked up a refill of it, and they actually have 3 or 4 more shades after this. This used to be the darkest shade when I first bought this foundation, and they had 3 or 4 more shades. So definitely pickups to Smashbox because they are stepping up their game with their color ranges. So sticking with foundations, I can't remember if I mentioned this in my current favorites video, but I'm still loving this. This is the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra 24 Hour Makeup. I love this when my skin is smooth. So back in like January, February, where the weather was kind of getting warm and my skin was nice and smooth, this makes it look amazing. It gives you a nice full coverage. I don't find that this is like super duper drying matte, but it's kind of like maybe a satin velvety finish. It's not dry at all, but I really do love this foundation. Again, I just like it when my skin is nice and smooth, and it just makes it look like a nice airbrush finish. The last foundation that I want to mention is one that I recently picked up, and it's kind of over now. I'm kind of late to the bandwagon, but a whole bunch of people were talking about this foundation. This is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer, and I got the shade Clove. I think this shade is just a tad bit too dark, especially in the winter months, but recently I've been outside a lot, so I did get a bit of a tan. So this foundation color actually is matching up a little bit better. It still is a tad bit too dark, but I like it a little bit better than if I were to get a too light foundation and then I got a tan, and then I would have to try to darken it up. So I'd rather lighten up a darker foundation than darken up a light foundation, if that makes sense. But I love the way that this has a huge applicator, and you just put it on your face just with this, so it cuts down on having to, you know, pour it into your hand. So you can just easily blend it on your skin with a beauty blender or a brush. It just makes for a great foundation, and it seems like you get quite a bit in here. It's taller than some of the other bottles, but it is 1 fluid ounce. It is very full coverage, and I know a lot of people use it as a foundation and then they use a lighter color as a concealer. So I was thinking about doing that and seeing how it works. Let me know if you guys want to see like a review and demo video on this foundation. I know there's 10,000 of these out right now, so I'm thinking about just doing kind of like a video just using this foundation, but not necessarily a review and demo, because there's so many people, my skin complexion, fairer skin complexions, that have already talked and raved about this foundation. So a primer that I recently just got, and I think I got it as like a point perk or something like that at Ulta. It was like a free gift with purchase. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. So as you can see, I haven't used a whole lot of it. So yeah, I'm being that person. But I did use it yesterday and today, and I actually really liked it. I used it in combination with a new foundation. So I'm thinking about doing kind of like a new products video and throwing this in there so you guys can see how it works. But I have been into setting sprays lately because I just noticed that since I've been struggling with texture on my skin and just different things, I've been trying out different methods of applying my foundation and making it last without just using powder, just finishing with it, setting spray, or maybe starting with the setting spray. So I love this primer water. It does make your face feel nice and fresh, and it dries pretty fast as well. I know some of my other primer waters, or whatever you want to call them, like Fix Plus primer, sometimes it takes a while for it to dry. I feel like the Fix Plus is a tad bit like thicker in consistency than this is. This is literally like water that you just spray on your face. So I really do like this, and I cannot wait to use it with different foundations and see how it works. The next primer, and I cannot remember if I mentioned this as well, but this is the MAC Prep and Prime Natural Radiance Base, and this is in the shade Radiant Yellow. This is amazing, especially in cooler weather, because I noticed that it gives me a nice glow. It doesn't make me look oily throughout the day. However, when it does get hotter, I do get a little bit more oily when I wear this, but I love it because, especially for no makeup days, I can just put this on and it gives me a nice radiant kind of smooth finish. It's not something that fills in the pores or really mattifies the skin, but it does give a nice kind of smooth radiant look that looks natural. So I really do like this. It feels like a really nice radiant moisturizer. I have two applicators, and please excuse the way they look because I just used them to film this tutorial that I'm wearing today. But this is the e.l.f. Beauty Sponge. I'm not exactly sure of the exact name of it, but it is pretty decent for the money. I cannot remember. I think it was like $6. Can't remember the exact price. But as you can see, I've used this side of it for foundation, and I just pounce it all over. And then this side is really good for getting in those like corners. I didn't use this for concealer. I used just this sponge for foundation. I used this for like my cheeks and forehead area, and then this side for just underneath the eye area and around the nose, and it made for a really good application. I do want to do like a side-by-side comparison of this and a brush by them and see which one is better, because I love e.l.f. products because they have so many different brushes. I literally have majority e.l.f. brushes, and if you haven't seen my brushes, my favorite brushes video, then I will have that somewhere in the video over here so you guys can go check that out. But I love e.l.f. products, and I love this one as well, and it's very inexpensive. I think it is either the same price as the Real Techniques blender or a little bit cheaper, but I do love the fact that it has like the curvature in it, and then it has this end and then a bigger end on this side. So I like this beauty blender. I have another sponge that I want to mention, and I've been wanting to mention this and use this in a video for quite some time because I've actually had it for quite a few months, but since I moved, it got thrown into a bag and I didn't know where it was at. But this is actually the L'Oreal Concealer Sponge, I believe it is. They came out with quite a few sponges They came out with a few sponges a few months back, and I tried this one, and it's really small at first, and then you wet it, of course, and it gets bigger. This I love to use for concealer. I don't know exactly what this end is for because it's like flat on this end, so I'm not exactly sure what you're supposed to use on this end, or even if you're supposed to use it, but this is amazing for concealer. I know they have the little mini beauty blenders, but I think this will work just as well. It's one of the smallest ones that I've seen at the drugstore, and it also applies concealer really well. I just press it under here, and I also use it for powder as well. So I probably will pick up an additional one just to have one for powder and then one for concealer, so I don't have to use those disposable wedges, because you can only use those so many times before it feels kind of icky. So I love this, and it's really easy to wash. You just use some soap and just squeeze everything out, and it's really easy to wash. So you don't need the beauty blender, you know, sponge cleaner. They all really still clean the same way, but I really do like this sponge by L'Oreal. Another item by MAC that I wanted to mention is this lip scrub. So I went into MAC and I asked if they had any type of exfoliating lip scrub, because I know they have the lip conditioner, but I wasn't really in the market for another lip balm because I feel like I have so many and it's not really getting the job done. So I realized that I need something that's going to scrub my lips really well, and I had tried some from the drugstore, but they just really weren't cutting it. So I tried this one, and this is in the flavor candied nectar, and the guy was telling me that they are edible, so you can eat them. I have not eaten any of mine, but it does have a really nice smell. It smells like, I don't know, it just smells like some type of like sugar smack, if you guys remember those. It smells like those lip smackers, I think is what they were called, that used to get back in like elementary school at Walmart. I don't even know if they still sell those, but they were like flavored chapsticks, and I think they were edible. I don't know. Do any of you guys remember those? That's what this smells like, and it does an amazing job at scrubbing my lips. Every single time I use this and I follow it up with some Vaseline or just a regular lip balm, it makes my lips so smooth, and I'm about in need of another one. So I do this maybe once every couple weeks. It's not something that I do weekly or every other day or anything like that, because that would be way too much. So I do this like once every couple weeks, or anytime I see that I have some skin that just needs to go, because if I don't do something like this, I will just constantly bite it until it starts bleeding, and then it's just like a blister, and then it's burning. So love this stuff. I definitely recommend you guys try it if you're looking for a good exfoliator for your lips. You probably can just DIY this, I'm sure, but I bought this because I wanted to try it out. So I have a mascara that I want to mention, and I don't buy a lot of mascaras that I really absolutely fall in love with. Recently, I've just been struggling with the mascara game. I have realized, like, man, I really need to find some really good mascaras, but when I go buy some, it doesn't work out, or they're just not like what I expected. But this is the Colossal Big Shot Volume Express mascara, and this one is really nicely, this one is really nice. I know you've probably seen quite a few people here on YouTube talking about this, so that's what made me go out and get it, because I love Maybelline mascaras. And this one has a nice wand on it, and it applies mascara really well. It definitely does a great job at separating the lashes. I do have to apply about 2 to 3 coats to get, you know, the volume and thickness and separation that I want. I like to have like kind of borderline clumpy lashes, because especially when I'm not wearing like eyeshadow and I'm just doing like a full face with no eyeshadow, I love applying 1,000 layers of mascara, because that just helps my eyes stand out so much more, and it makes me look like a woman, in my opinion. So love this mascara. You cannot beat Maybelline mascaras. I feel like the drugstore definitely covers the mascara field very nicely, so try this out. So when we get ready to take our makeup off, we want to use something that's going to take your makeup off, that's not going to be harsh to the skin. It's going to be nice and simple and smooth, and it's not going to break you out. So recently I have been using the NYX Micellar Water Stripped Off version, And I heard quite a few people talking about micellar water, like by Garnier and by different brands. But I decided to try this one out. One, because I want to do a one branded tutorial from start to finish using NYX products. So that's what really made me try it out. And two, I wanted to try out one that was kind of affordable first, just to see and get my feet in the water. This is a very lightweight. It does not burn. When I am applying something to take my makeup off, wipe or liquid or whatever the case may be, I do not like it to burn. The Neutrogena wipes, that's one reason why I stopped using them, because when I would rub around my eye, it would get in my eye and it would set it on fire. So I stopped using those because they would make my eyes burn. Now, I think they do have like a gentle or sensitive formula, but I had to use something that was like for sensitive skin or whatnot so it wouldn't burn my eyes. This, it's not even like an oil. Some products that you see like this are like oils, and it leaves your skin kind of like with an oily residue. This doesn't do this. This is literally like some type of extra strength water. It's really amazing. I use the cotton wands or whatever you call them, the cotton circles, and I just saturate it up and then wipe off. It gets everything off, from mascara, waterproof, lip stains. It does a really good job at getting everything off. I will still recommend just follow it up with just a normal face wash routine or whatever you want to do after that, because it may not get in the crevices, because sometimes when I get up the next morning, like I used this one night and I just used it by itself, and then I got up the next morning and I saw that I still had like some makeup residue on my face, and when I went in with the wipe I could still see that. So just make sure you still follow up with your normal face routine after that, because it's not going to like take place of that. But I do love this product. On to a couple of hair favorites. So I'm thinking, really thinking hard about doing separate hair videos, because I love hair products and I've bought so many of them, so I do want to share that with you guys. I definitely want to like have my hair natural and stuff like that in the video, because I feel like there's no point in talking about natural hair products if my hair is like covered up under a weave. So I want to do that. I'm probably going to be doing that in the next month or so. Just throwing that out there. But I want to talk about a couple of hair products before I end this video. And this is the Eco Styler Black Castor and Flaxseed Oil Gel. Y'all, the hype is real. Like, I can't find this anymore after I bought it. I really should have bought the big jar. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. I bought the small jar of this and the small jar of the coconut version. I like this way better than the coconut version. And that's how much I have left. So I'm just like, what was I thinking? I should have bought the big version of this. So I bought this. It was only $1.99 from my local beauty supply store, and then they've been sold out ever since. I've looked at Walmart. I've looked at, you know, other places that sell Eco Styler, like random CVS's and Walgreens. Nope. Nobody has the black version in stock. So hopefully I can find it again, because this has such an amazing smell. And then I don't know, it just worked different than the coconut version. I do have the coconut version one back here, and it is great as well, but I think this one works a tad bit better. I don't know what it is about it, but this one, it just works better. So I love this. I definitely recommend, if you're natural, even if you're not natural, definitely try this out, because you probably won't regret it. There are a couple of people who don't like it, but just try it out for yourself. You can get the small version like I did. It's only $1.99 at the local beauty supply store. So you really won't be losing too much if you tried it and you didn't like it. Last item that I want to mention is another hair care item, and this is the Tresemme Dry Shampoo Fresh Start, and it's the volumizing dry shampoo. So I was looking for a dry shampoo because of my protective units, whatever you want to call them, wigs, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. Sometimes when I do like a frontal closure deal, I get like a lot of luster for some reason. Like if I don't have if I'm using the hair and I'm doing like a U part, I don't notice as much luster than I do with like a closure. So to make it look more natural, more realistic, I like to use a dry shampoo. So I picked this one up and it is pretty decent. I am in love with it. I used it yesterday and then I refreshed and did it again today. So I'm not using it to like volumize my hair or anything like that. I'm just using it to dry out the luster and the oils from the hair, because this hair gets so shiny and then it looks really fake. So get you a dry shampoo if you are struggling with that. That's like the best tip ever for shiny wigs or shiny just extensions in general. Okay guys, finally I am done. I told y'all it was gonna be a long one because I wanted to make up to you guys for not doing one for March, and then did I do one for February? I don't know. The year is already almost halfway over. It's crazy. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting on? Please subscribe to my channel and please hit the little bell so you guys don't miss when I upload a video. And also, if you liked this video, because I like favorites videos, who doesn't like favorites videos? So give this video a thumbs up if you did like it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be this nice kind of spring